Looks like we are live.
Oh yeah.
Music sound good. Ah, I gotta get that stretching.
Stretching out those podcast muscles haven't been touched in a while.
Gotta stretch
Haven't
out.
been used in a while. Like what, months?
Yeah, gotta
Has
stretch
it been
out.
months?
Gotta stretch out your fingers, thing,
Yeah.
Stretch your
Will you look
fingers
at
out,
that?
you know. And, gotta stretch out.
When did you get yours? When did you get it? I'm not jealous because mine's coming tomorrow. But when did you get it?
Oh, now I'm jealous because this is just a controller.
Oh shit! So you just out here posing.
Yeah, this is just a PC peripheral.
Okay, come on.
This is what it is, man.
What
you want me to say?
I want you to say you got a PS5 when you're flexing the PS5 controller.
No, I did. I haven't secured one.
I'm sorry about that.
I haven't secured one. It seems like you went the legal route.
I did. Yeah. I did. Both my brother and I got the invite to that queue party or whatever, like that event where they invite you to a queue and you just sit in line until the PS5s run out. And I was working, so I couldn't do it. So he did it on behalf of me, just through his, and he got lucky. Ended up getting the Horizon Zero Dawn bundle, or Horizon Forbidden West bundle. So that should be coming. I think it's coming tomorrow, along with the game and everything. Super hyped for it. Super hyped.
Of course you'll be hyped for that, man. But I don't know how hyped I am or how hyped it's been in the gaming space in general. You know what I'm saying? But
in general, okay. So what do you mean?
I don't know. I've been ever since Elden Ring, everything just tastes like mush. Just it's gone to mush. All right.
Nothing's really come out since Elden Ring, though.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying? But big up to anybody tuning in right now. This is the GameHeads XP podcast. Myself, Cam the Comfort. Got my boy Sauce with me on behalf of the GameHeads International. We put that. Could we call that an empire?
The
Empire.
And Cookie Lion.
I've been watching a lot of not that Empire. We don't
not that Empire.
We don't like Subway. You don't like Subway sandwiches that much. But I've been watching a lot of Star Wars. You know, we got the new Obi-Wan series and everything. But save it.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is the gaming podcast, but I just want to talk about that just for a few seconds. Right? I mean, what are your thoughts on these first few episodes?
I haven't seen the third one. I've seen the first two.
Okay.
Definitely very, very excited, especially how a lot of it, ties in. It made me go back to the beginning. I went back to Phantom Menace, and with my Disney Plus, I'm gonna be on Visions. I'm gonna be on all the Clone Wars.
Visions was great.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be all about it. Like,
so what? You haven't finished Clone Wars?
The show, no, I haven't finished, but I was pretty deep.
You got to finish Clone Wars because I watched that. It was recommended to me. I knew Clone Wars was a thing on Cartoon Network when I was watching it. I was still watching Cartoon Network as a kid, but I was never that into Star Wars back then. Right, stupid me, because I missed out on what must be, I think, the greatest property that has come out of Star Wars, specifically in terms of just their creativity and storytelling. Right now, it actually possessed me to them by that Star Wars game that EA come out with, Respawn came out with. I forget what the name of it was.
Jedi Fallen Order.
There you go. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. And I saw the teaser. It was shared in our Discord the other day, and I haven't watched it yet because I'm still trying to get through that. But yeah, I've been on like a Star Wars
binge.
Yeah, just a binge, really. Yeah, I've been obsessed too. Like every other day, I'm looking something up on Star Wars, just trying to get back into it. right? So that was cool. The only thing I didn't like, I guess, about Obi-Wan was just a few things that like Disney always would put into like their live action stuff, like things that'll take you out just watching it as like an adult who cares about realism in his fantasy. You
Hmm.
know, Leia. There was no way Leia was run away from those.
Yeah, that's the main. That's the
There's no
main gripe.
way that took them that long to catch
Uh,
this little girl.
yeah,
There's
Leia
no
Gate
way.
was the main was the main gripe. Leia Gate, and it was hilarious, but
It was
it was
funny. I
cute.
mean, like that, bro. That's. I was like that slide. Like she's moving. Like she's juking them out and shit. But but like when she went under
Uh,
that tree, I was like, okay, okay. But then like
yeah,
they were chasing her, and like I could see the dude that was chasing her was just like going for a light jog
yeah, he was
while she was like running full speed. I'm just
he,
like, dude, take two big steps and grab the tree.
he
Like,
Oh, but yeah, I think I'm excited about the future of Star Wars too. Especially everything that they're doing now with Fortnite too. Like for Star Wars is a
oh yeah,
huge integral part of the Fortnite universe right now.
yeah,
A lot of leaks for Darth Vader being, the Battle Pass final skin for the next season. We got the Obi-Wan skin as well as other Star Wars skins in Fortnite lately, and apparently, the Empire is tied into what's going on with the IO and everything going on with that universe. So,
right,
Star Wars and Fortnite, have consumed my life on the level.
yeah, man,
We have that big series season event on Saturday. I'm super duper excited. All right.
hmm
But we're here to talk about a state of play went down yesterday around
yeah,
6
absolutely.
p.m. our time. Don't see too much people talking about it, but some big things were announced.
I
Stuff I
mean,
wasn't
everyone.
expected.
I'm not going to
All
say
right.
everyone. I'm not going to say everyone. A lot of people, like the biggest thing that I've seen. Maybe it's just because of the circles that I'm in. But the biggest thing that I've seen, particularly, is just Street Fighter. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They showed like they just showed how good that game looks, and like and people like until recently were like, okay, Guilty Gear Strive is the best looking fighting game.
Yeah.
Right. You're actually having conversations being had on Twitter and Discord, whatever have you. On like just from like a 2 minute 3 minute clip or trailer of Street Fighter, now they're saying that like this it's blowing Guilty Gear Strive right out of the water in terms of just their graphics. And me being like a Strive simp, right, still playing that game even after people say it's getting stale and people are just waiting for season two. Even I'm like, okay, this game looks really freaking good, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
better than in some aspects, yeah, better than Guilty Gear and what I've seen, especially when it comes to the effects with the graffiti. Like I thought that was an amazing touch in that trailer.
So it sounds like we already have the highlight for you. All right. And this
I wouldn't
one,
say that's the highlight for me. I mean, I've always been into fighting games, right? Like I've always been a fighting game player, so it's always going to catch my attention. But no, I would say it's definitely one of like the bigger releases that they've shown.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's my favorite out of all of them, but definitely something to look out for.
Well, we got to get into that, man. This state of play when it came, like I felt that we had news of PlayStation Plus changes and everything they doing with the premium, and I can't remember the names: premium, super premium, ultra premium. The changes they did to their subscription service,
Right.
like that, and I'm like, yeah, I think Sony still is to do something to get that excitement kicking again for the summer, and definitely this kind of started things off. I'm, buzzing after seeing a few things that I've seen. Super excited for Summer Games Fest now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of that. So I'm happy we got the state of play. And I'm happy we got some things that we got in this that I wasn't expecting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, if we let's just go piece by piece with some of the big announcements. Let's start off with, it's hard to say which is the highlight for me as far as the state of play yesterday. But I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Resident Evil 4 remake that's been announced. All
Right.
right, atop of the state of play, we got a short cinematic trailer, and we even got a release date, March 23rd. 2023. All right. I love when we get big announcements and a release window at least, but we got a release date now. I went on a Resident Evil binge, I think, if not last year, the year
Uh-huh.
before.
Yeah.
I went on a super Resident Evil binge, kind of really spurring even my Twitch streaming as for horror and into that niche. So you know how I feel. I went from Resident Evil 2 straight up to Village, right? And we also got the Village VR2 teaser or what's not. But this Resident Evil 4 remake, I didn't expect Resident Evil 4 to be so good for me, right? Initially, I loved 2 remake, I loved 3 remake, and I'm like, I'm cool. And then I hit a major wall with Resident Evil 4 because I started it up and the controls were disgusting,
Wait,
right?
so you played the original Resident Evil 4 then?
Yeah, I played the original
Okay.
Resident Evil 4. There's a lot of parts of Resident Evil 4, but it's still really janky
I
as
mean,
far
how
as the
old is that? How
controls
old is
go.
that game at this point?
I
Right.
really
I
can't
mean,
say it was a GameCube game though. So to put that into perspective, it was an early GameCube game. But the
that
thing
was
about it
2000,
is,
2005. Sorry to cut you off.
right?
January
No,
11th, 2005.
that's yeah,
So
that's a while.
it's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Right. So I
So
expect janky controls.
after playing 2 and 3 remake, I'm like, oh, I'm loving this, and then it drops me into that water of, oh, you thought it was sweet. Here's a real Resident Evil experience with bio
Right. Right.
controls and everything, and I just remember being frustrated, like, wait, I really can't. I don't know if I could do this. I almost gave up, and then I was frustrated early on, and then I started picking things up. I started like kind of understanding how I should be flowing, what I should be moving, and the story of that game enthralled me to the point where I'm like, these controls are nani. I was frustrated, I was annoyed, but I couldn't stop playing the game. Right? I
Right.
was in there, I was in the story, I was following everything, I was looking at, context clues. I was really in there to the point that I agree with people when they feel and they say that Resident Evil 4 is the most beloved Resident Evil. It, story wise is the best. Culture wise may even be the best as culture for the Resident Evil fans. And
Yeah.
now getting this remake just feels like, mwah, we get to feel, we get to enjoy this story in a better way. With the good controls now, everything is cold, complete
No, you're right.
balance.
You're right. I mean,
Right?
I never played any of the original Resident Evil games. I wasn't too young. I was on probably the target demographic, but I was too much of a wuss to play any horror games back then.
We know. We
Um, it's I think it's been said before. I think it's been said before, but yeah, I was too much of a wuss to play any horror games back then, right? So, when the remakes first started coming out, I was like, okay, I can like I'm an adult. I'm not scared of zombies anymore, right?
Mhm.
I can actually play these games, right? And I found extreme enjoyment out of like the remake for the remake, just for the first Resident Evil. I never Resident Evil 2 as well, and then I never got around to playing Resident Evil 3, which I actually still have in my backlog, right? But even Resident Evil 7, which I played years after, right? That was what
Biohazard, yeah.
Biohazard, yeah. Played years after that came out, and I loved that game, even though that game was short as hell. But it is a ride, like get from the first minute to like the very last, even if it is a shorter game. So yeah, I've fallen in love with like the Resident Evil franchise very much so. So when I've done my research and I just looked online, I've been in those hubs, right? I've always seen that Resident Evil 4 is like this legendary status game, right? I always try to stray away from like what it is exactly, right? I
Mhm.
really wanted to know. Well, sorry, I didn't want to know. Right, I really didn't want to know anything about the game because I'm waiting for the remake to come out. Right, I'm much like you. I don't want to play any of the old stuff, especially if newer stuff is coming out. I'd much rather experience it in the best way possible with current generation software and technology, right, making it look as good and play as well as possible. So yeah, I've always tried to dodge like all of like the hints or anything about Resident Evil 4, just because it was that legendary status game. Every time people would talk about anything Resident Evil 4 would come up,
Mhm.
right? So definitely super excited for that. That was actually the highlight for me as well, even not knowing anything about the game or anything about Resident Evil until I really started playing the remakes. So yeah, definitely was a highlight because when it comes to horror, and I'm always tuning into your streams as well, man. Like the
Mhm.
like horror games are, I think horror is the best application for video games, is at least one of them, right? Because you can truly feel and experience the horror in it. So I'm super excited for Resident Evil 4. Super excited.
Definitely, man. This one just it kind of hit me in a way that it was like, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this when it comes out, right? I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't know how I'm gonna feel about this when it comes out. Is this going to disappoint me? Is this going to wow me? Is this going to be something that I talk about endlessly? Because I know how I felt about the last one, Village, right? And the way I felt about that. And I've been eking on wanting to play Village again, but now seeing this remake, it's like, boy, you might have to see what's good.
Bro,
You
that's
know?
why I'm so happy I finally got my PS5, right?
Yeah.
I still actually haven't played Villages either, right? So
Right.
I've successfully somehow, right, been able to actually uh, uh, dodge all of the spoilers or anything that that would spoil me for that game, especially when it was like the biggest thing on the internet when it first did come out. So when I get my PS5 and it's coming tomorrow, bro, I'm like sitting at the door like waiting for the UPS or the Amazon or what or the FedEx, whoever's dropping it off, to drop that off so I could boot it up, buy that game and sit down and play it. But uh, yeah, super excited for Resident Evil 4, and also Capcom kind of killed this state of play. Like the two, I think the two biggest releases, um, or at least just the two biggest, or one of the two biggest. I'm not going to say the
I
two
wouldn't
biggest because
say
there's a ton
two
of
biggest.
I know
I
there's a
I
ton of
would say
people we're going to talk.
three big
Yeah,
releases.
three big releases. Two of those
Three really
slots
big
are definitely,
releases,
I would
man.
say, Street Fighter and Resident Evil. Now we know what number one most
We
likely
know what
is.
number
We know
one
what number
is.
one most likely is.
We
I've never
definitely
been
do.
a big Final Fantasy fan. I don't think I've even really played any of the games. I've only ever just
Yeah.
known of them or known of their existence.
Well,
So
let's
many
go.
people will probably call me a fake gamer for not having played any of them. But
Let's
yeah,
go down the list then.
yeah, and down the list of what you want to go
Yeah.
from
Let's
there. Or
so
you want
next.
to go through like the
I'm just gonna
through
go through.
the lesser
Yeah, to
ones that you don't care too
the
much about.
lesser stuff. We got
All right,
Spider Man remastered
there you
coming
go,
to
there you go. Yeah,
PC, right?
no,
Not a
that's dope.
It's dope, but not a big deal for me. I think I played this one
Well, you played it.
twice.
I wasn't able. I was
Um,
waiting to get it on PS5 when it did
mhm.
originally, not originally, but a few months after it did come out.
Well, remember
Right.
this isn't the latest one.
Oh, it's not really.
This is the
Which one is
one.
this?
This isn't the Miles Morales one,
Oh wait, but the
right?
Miles Morales one was just an expansion. It wasn't an
Well,
actual full game, was it?
technically, yes.
Okay, so yeah,
It
it's
was a
the
full
same.
game, but it was an expansion.
Okay,
That
okay,
was the talk. But this one, I platinumed. I didn't do it again, but I played it again. For me, it's like you get it on PC, right? But it was nice to see Spider Man. It's always nice to see Spider Man in a state of play. We got a major Horizon Forbidden West update.
yeah, that's cool.
Um, Gorilla announced a new game plus mode with other major updates. For Horizon Forbidden West. I know a few people who still love that one. Shout out to my girl April. Shout out to Ashley as well. They love Horizon. So, that's big, right?
Yeah,
Also big, I've been kind of looking into VR. I can't say why I've been looking into VR because that would kind of give some things away.
yeah. Well, the big thing
Uh,
that people with VR, the big thing that people are really interested in right now is obviously Resident Evil Village because Resident
Village.
Evil 7 was like
Yeah.
such a huge
Hit
success
in
on
VR.
VR
Yeah. Now we got
when that did come out. And so, like I said, like with gaming being like the best experience when it comes to horror,
yeah.
VR is only just doubling down on that fact. And yeah, people are super. If people like Resident Evil Village, they're definitely going to, if they do get the VR. Yeah, that's going to be a must buy.
I
Absolutely.
definitely want to do a VR experience with a horror game for, my channel one of these days. When I do invest in VR, which,
Yeah,
one of these days. But for the Horizon people, we got Call of the Mountain for VR too. All right. I don't know what the experience would be, but And as far as horror, we've been talking a lot about horror. We got the Callisto
there you go. That I
Protocol
bro, I've been wanting to talk
trailer
about that. And now this is the
debut.
first. This is the first I've heard of this game. Now I heard that there was a trailer for this game that was dropped in like 2020.
Hmm.
And it must have been in some type of development hell, or maybe they just went quiet for a real long time while they were doing whatever they need to do on the back end, right? But
Hmm.
oh my god, does that game look good?
It
Like, and
looks.
I got I you know what vibes I got from that game
Was
immediately
it
as I
was it
saw it.
Psyops? Was it Prey? Was it Dead Space?
It was Dead Space.
Definitely Dead Space. Yeah.
100% Dead
Yeah.
Space.
Definitely. I'm a big Dead Space fan. You know how I feel about horror. I love Prey, the original Prey, right? I
Right.
even almost thought, I was like, is this a Death Stranding uh, DLC or
Uh-huh.
something? I've heard about this one before, but this trailer kind of blew me away. I'm super excited for this one. Like the name Callisto Protocol is now embedded in my mind. With this trailer, is gory, is dark.
Yeah,
It looks a lot like Dead Space, and we've
exactly.
been waiting, and we've been teased a Dead Space. Is it a sequel or a predecessor? A new Dead Space, right?
Really? I haven't heard anything about what it was. So they were
Yeah,
coming out with a new game. I thought
and
that game was like
it's
done.
either a remake of the first one or it's gonna be a new entry in the series, right?
Okay.
I think it's a remake, and that had me excited. Now this is kind of reignited
Dude,
that.
the face hugger that just comes out like
Yeah. It's in the interim of a Last of Us, of a big horror gripping title, this looks like it could be that for me,
yeah, no,
right?
100%. 100%. Did they show a release date for this?
I am
Just
not sure,
just so I know I could put it in my calendar.
but I'm definitely going to be streaming it day one. I'm
Oh yeah.
definitely going to be getting into this, man.
Oh, there you go. December 2nd.
December 2nd, 2022. That's this
this
year.
this a Christmas
It's
game?
gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good Christmas, Robert. Big up yourself. It does look hella good, like graphic wise, and lucky for Dre, he got his PS5.
Just
I
in time.
I ain't get mine yet. But through the powers, I shall. I still the only thing that kind of got me other than that was like, yo, I'm gonna miss this game because I don't have the PS5 in time, because I still was like, no game had me like, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. Now I'm kind of looking like I'm gonna have to get it. The one I'm gonna miss is Stray, right?
Stray.
Is the game with the cat,
Oh, the cat, bro. I'm a cat
right?
person, so just
Yeah,
out well, one out of curiosity because I mean they're not showing everything for that game,
no,
but that cat's adorable.
it is.
that kitty cat's adorable. So
It
I
is
got
adorable. I mean, just the concept of it too. You literally play as a cat and you roam around. You do things. What I'm saying? It's super dope.
I mean, as
Um,
long as the platforming's good, like that's what it's sort of looking like. It's going to be a platformer, and yeah, it's a lot of like exploring through the levels. But as long as the platforming's good and the level design is good, then it should be a good game,
yeah, you don't want
right?
nothing janky. We got a game called Roller Drome that look interesting, kind of jet set.
That was the one miss for me. I did
It
not.
was a miss. It
I
didn't
didn't
look
care
good.
about. No, that didn't.
They
That
describe it as a stylish and violent roller skating battler coming out in August. I'm interested to see. It seems like a game that doesn't really have a community or like a spot or a category that may breed, a new niche of
I
the
mean, if
game,
it's if
maybe.
it's like a multiplayer game, it might just be some type of like not. I'm not saying it's going to be a battle royale, but it might just
No,
be have aspects of it if it's multiplayer. But
yeah,
specifically with that game, yeah, no, I didn't like the graphics. I mean, it's not saying they were bad. It just wasn't my flavor.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the art style of that game. And I had to laugh when they were like in 2030. Which is just like 8 years from now. I'm just like, okay. So I'm just
you,
gonna be counting down the years. Like 8 years from now, I'm about to see like people with guns in a roller derby,
you such a hater.
right, killing people.
You such a hater,
Bro,
dog.
I am
Like,
sorry, but that was just so funny to me. It's just like y'all couldn't say like maybe like 20 years from now. It had to be like 8 years from now. It's 2022, and they're like
yeah.
2030. This is gonna happen.
I do like the art style, you know what I'm saying? It reminds me of some, some great cartoons. I like the flow of the combat, how they move around. You know what I'm saying? It could be super duper interesting. Especially I like movement. I like good movement in games too, right?
Yeah,
If the movement is good, usually you're gonna vibe out a level, or like you're gonna feel super dope, all right? And the parkour, well, it's on skates, but it looks parkoury. You're doing the wall rides, you killing things,
I
shooting
don't know,
things.
man. I think skates are just so lame.
It
I mean,
reminds me of imagine Tony Hawk Pro Skater with a machine gun,
well, then why couldn't you
right?
just give him like a skateboard? Right? Why is it
Maybe.
got to be on
Well,
skates?
well, maybe this is just the first. Well, it's coming
Bro,
out in August.
I'm
This
hating right now. I'm hating right
You
now.
no, you
There's
gotta
no need. There's
you
no need for
can
me to
hate,
hate.
but just this one character isn't enough. Where's the rest of the characters? You know what I'm saying? Is it a
What
single
you
player
saying? You
experience?
saying it's going to be multiple characters? I thought it
I
was
don't
probably just going to
know.
be that one character. I
I'm
mean,
wondering,
her face is on the and is on the low or is on like
but I'm
the
saying
graphic.
the reason I say that it doesn't look like a it should be multiplayer. To me, it feels like it should be multiplayer or co-op. You
Right.
skating around with your friends, and you doing waves, probably waves, enemies, and what's not. Anyway, we
Maybe
got a dating sim.
that's right up your alley,
You know what
boyfriend
I
dungeon.
like? We got a dating
Do you ever
sim.
end up playing that game?
I never got to play boyfriend dungeon. I never got the female companion to join me on stream to do all the girly stuff because I just
I'm
can't.
sorry,
I just can't be on stream
playing boyfriend dungeon alone.
being playing like, ooh, what should I do now? Should I let him take me on the date? Or should I do this or should I do that? You know what I'm saying? But it looks good
It's an
as
anime. It's
is
an anime game, right?
is
Yeah,
anime
looks good.
inspired action dating sim. And ever since Boyfriend Dungeon, I've been noticing a lot more of these. Right? Kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy
Are you saying boyfriend
15.
dungeon was the trailblazer?
Boyfriend Dungeon was the flag on the moon. Right? Letting everybody know what's possible with dating sims, all right?
The one step
But
for
the,
simps.
the but it can be the granddaddy, 'cause the granddaddy of them all is Colonel Sanders, the Kentucky dating sim. The Kentucky dating sim is definitely the dating sim that put everybody else on notice.
Put everyone else to shame.
That just started the moving off how it should have been done. All right,
Yeah.
not too much more. We got Tunic coming to PlayStation.
Yeah,
I
no,
play.
always heard about it, indie game, but
Mm,
I've heard only good things about that game. So
yeah.
that's exciting.
I started playing that one on PC. I didn't get too far, but I like Zelda style games like that.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
Letter to the Future is an indie game. Gonna be releasing. Kind of gives me Life is Strange, but with other elements. I kind of like those too. But last but not least, just well, not
yeah,
last, because we haven't really talked about Street Fighter 6. We got the showcase.
yeah.
We've like you more in that community. I just
Yeah, and
know
I've tried to
that
get you into fighting games, but you're not into the whole
no,
lab.
I you have me on Guilty Gear. I look at it
Oh
in my
come on,
Steam.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if I had you on Guilty Gear. If I looked at Steam right now, how
I
many
look
hours would I find that you've put into Guilty Gear?
I look at Guilty Gear in my stream library like often, right?
Okay, yeah, you just pass over
I
it.
look at it a lot, and I be like,
Yeah, not today.
I catch couple matching this, I hit the training a little bit. I get do my thing a little bit, but I don't get too far in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But no, I honestly don't have much to say about Final Fantasy. I had no idea what was going on when I saw
oh,
this.
this is Final
No idea.
Fantasy. I supposed to be playing Street Fighter.
Bro, you okay? You okay?
give
We
give
could
me a
talk about
sec.
Final Fantasy.
Okay, you want to skip over Street Fighter? Okay.
We'll just circle back to Street Fighter,
No, I
right?
got Street.
Because I got more words for Street Fighter than I have for Final Fantasy.
No,
Not because
I got Street Fighter right. I want to end with Final Fantasy.
okay,
I
okay.
want to end with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, no, Street Fighter looks great. I mean, there's not
Hmm.
much else to say. Like, that's the main thing. They showed like the new character, who I'll definitely be maining day one. Apparently, the entire roster has leaked, so I haven't seen the leaked roster, but if all the other characters look as good as the characters that they're showcasing here now, then
Yeah.
nothing but high hopes for this game. Especially after Street Fighter Five, which few people, I guess, a very dedicated subsection of the community said was a disappointment.
Hmm.
But hey, it's still going strong, right? But no, people are super excited for this game, and for good reason, right? They're showing like some really good, just single player content with apparently an open world, which which we've never seen in like fighting games
That's
before.
gonna be
Right.
interesting. Like,
So that's I'm gonna be interested to see what you do in this. Like, I mean, it probably
mhm.
has like it's probably very fighting game centric, right? So like just like they showed there, like you find some dude on the sidewalk, you're like, let's fight, and then you
Let's
fight the
fight, and you
dude,
fight him.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's still the exploring part of it, and the open world aspects of it. So that'll be good. Ryu looks amazing in this game. I've always thought
He-
Ryu was boring, but like, holy
yeah,
crap, he looks cool in this
he
game.
looks seasoned.
Yeah.
You know, is that
I
a
mean,
new
he should.
character?
How old a character is Ryu, bro? Like,
Yeah. Yo, I mean, I love the look of it. I love the graffiti. I love the open world, and I understand why Street Fighter Five was just on top of the hill for so long. They've been building this new idea and concept, which I'm sure they were skeptical about, but they at some point in time they realized, we are Street Fighter, right? We are the fighting game, universally known as fighting game, right? If we're gonna be honest, right? You say Street
yeah,
Fighter, you say a fighting game, you say Street Fighter. So them
exactly.
taking this chance, a leap with the open world and all of that, I would. It's dope, especially because fighting games try to get you into these cosmetics too. They want you to do different outfits, different colorways. The open world is gonna, make that feel a little bit more worthwhile, right?
Yeah,
Because if
hey, no,
you,
you're right. Like, you're talking about cosmetics,
you
like
know,
it could have real applications. You actually play in the open world that go into actual like
yeah,
multiplayer online,
yeah, it's
where like the things that you're doing in that mode can transfer over to what you're doing, or at least in terms of cosmetics, over to
yeah.
just the multiplayer in terms of the characters that you choose to play.
Oh, I'm not sure. Robert asked if they did it like 2K. I'm not sure if it's gonna
I
be
don't know
exactly like
anything about
2K.
2K. I mean, does
Uh,
2K have
no,
like the whole like
well, I'm not.
graffiti style or
I'm
whatever?
I, I'm not sure, but it seems like no. I think he's just talking about the open world aspect. But it
Oh, okay.
seems like like Dre said, you have this character, or like we don't even know if every character is gonna be able to walk through the world, or like the
Well, I
story
mean,
mode has one
it's
character
it's sort
that
of
you
like
follow his story,
it's sort of
right?
like the crypt in Mortal Kombat. I'm not if anyone watching knows
Mm-hmm.
what I'm talking about. I think it's in MK11. But like it's not necessarily like, I mean, it kind of is actually. It's somewhat open world, right? But like you're going through uh, the island, and basically you're using an avatar. It's not anyone that is like a playable character, right? But like just like they showed in the open world aspect on in the trailer, like you're playing an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
You don't choose Ryu to go through the world, and you're
Okay,
playing.
so it is like 2K then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Except you wouldn't fight with that avatar. It's just an avatar that you use to move around the
Well, we
world,
don't
and
know yet. I mean,
yeah.
if it's single player content, then it doesn't matter. Like maybe they give you the option to actually customize your moveset, which would be really really cool.
Hmm.
So you if you see him like doing the Shoryuken, like that is definitely Ryu's move, right?
Yeah, yeah.
this avatar, this no name
That'd
character.
be
Like
so
that's
broken. That would be too broken, Dre. Imagine you can just take the best parts of every kit and put it in one character. That's
bro,
too
but
broken.
that's what single player gaming is all about, being able
Well,
to pick
yeah,
a character
single
by
player.
the end,
That's what you say.
right?
Single
So like
that
that's the
cannot
single. Yeah, no, that's
cannot
the
go to
single.
multiplayer.
No, no, not at all.
That cannot go to
That's the
multiplayer.
single player content. That's the single player
Yeah.
content. So like if you can take certain moves that you like from different
Mhm.
characters in the game, and like this avatar is sort of just like this sponge that is just sucking in all these
Yeah.
different fighting styles and moves, then that'd be really cool. You can mix and
That
match different play styles.
that's where we wouldn't want it to be like 2K, because in 2K, every point guard has the same move set. They do the same
Right.
moves that work, and then they go into the multiplayer and just, it's kind of whack. But what we got to get into now, the big daddy of the whole state of play, and then we could wrap things up, is Final Fantasy 16. We've had 16 of these joints. Last one we got was the 7 remake, technically, but after that we got that big expansion to 14, the MMO, that broke Steam, almost broke Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
Final Fantasy servers don't cry like that. You had Final Fantasy servers crying to the point where they said you're not going to be able to buy the game until we get the server thing figured out. Now we got the next entry. Oh, almost forgot that trash one, Stranger of Paradise.
Stranger of
Final
Paradise. What was that?
Yes, Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. It was they were trying to do a Dark Souls type of thing with Final Fantasy, and it was trash. Right, a few
Right.
people played it, streamed it. It was one that I was looking forward to when it came out. Straight under the rug, under the radar. Now we get into the good stuff. Final Fantasy 16. I'm super here for this. The mainline titles, I am into. I'm into this lore. I am into this style. I'm into futuristic, magical, medieval shit. All right, that's what
But
I'm into.
so like in the Final Fantasy timeline, this is like this is current
Yeah,
day or
this is current.
okay.
This is current. But in Final Fantasy's world, you have sections like the royal part of it is medievally, but magically, but it's not old, but it's just the style of it. And then you may go to the city region that looks super duper modern, or like futuristic and what's not. I am
Right.
into this. These are the Final Fantasies I
No, it
love.
looks really cool. I mean, I've heard when I watched I was looking in the comments under the YouTube video for the state of play, and when people were talking about this, they were talking about summons.
Yes.
If I don't know what that is, I mean, do you want to explain that to me? But so I can
Um.
at least understand like why this game. I mean, I know why this game, like the game looks amazing, right?
Okay.
Like all these characters and these monsters or whatever, they look great, right? But like I don't know what I'm looking at
I'm
here.
not sure. As far as summons goes, I think the first time I remember real summons were 12. I think it was, where you got those fantastical summons where you're in a fight, you're doing sequences, and every character has these special, ethereal guardians that are larger than life that they
Right.
could call onto that would obliterate the stuff, right?
Okay.
And so you do what you have to do within a match to be able to summon, right? And then when you summon, it was like, oh, I got my summon off. Everything is Heidi duty, because this big ice dragon come and just breaking up everything,
Okay.
right? And it's beautiful to see. It's amazing to watch. Is It feels really good to pull off and get a summon off
Right.
with the graphics we have now, with the capabilities we have now. Summons in this generation, PS5, Xbox Series, PCs doing the graphical things that they doing. To see that in this generation is going to be bonkers. And that's why people are so hyped for, summons. Shout out to Chill
Okay.
Phil, my brother. You know, this this definitely was the state of play for me.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be ready to go day one. I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, on Sony's platforms first, as it usually is. But no, well, we don't know. They usually go. I remember Final Fantasy drops recently go on both on Xbox and Sony.
Hmm.
If I'm correct, but I remember Sony would always get an exclusive thing like a day early or something like that. Um, Sony has a little, a little bit of edge when it comes to those things. But look at this, man.
It looks
Look
great,
at
dude.
this.
Like this is PS5 content right here,
This is
100%.
this.
Right? I would want to get this game, right? But I'm scared. Like this is 16. I'm
16,
scared that
yeah.
I get this game and like I might want to. I
You have
might
to
care
go
about
back.
the story, and I'm like, well, not that I'm gonna want to go back, but I'm playing
Uh-huh.
this game and I have no idea what the hell is going on because I've missed 15 other games of context, right?
Well, because of the mass of the universe and the storyline, it's you not playing the other games isn't gonna really affect you. You
Right.
get joy out of having played the other ones because you pick up on context clues, you see Easter eggs, you understand why this thing in a hand matters. Like you understand why certain things go and then you realize, and because you played certain things before, boy, they wasn't even able to do that, boy. You know what I'm saying? Or you'd be like, oh, but I see him, boy, who'd have chopped the boy and during the service, right? So,
Uh huh.
their storytelling is great to the point where you don't have to play the other ones to enjoy a mainline title. I'll be real with you, you know. Um, Even my first Final Fantasy, I'm gonna be real, is 10-2, not 10, 10-2. Right? I went
Hmm.
into that, played 10-2. That was me, and then I went to everything else. Not playing the other stories did not make it different. All right.
I
they
got you.
sound
I got you.
say sound effects unnecessary. You will always get sound effects from me.
You always need
Zigga,
sound
zigga,
effects.
zigga, zigga,
But
zigga,
yeah, I
zigga,
mean, are there
zigga,
any other
zigga.
games that we really that no, I think that was really everything that
Yeah,
that they
that's it.
showed. Well, there was hold on, there was that season game
Season. I
that
talked about that.
you talked
A
about
letter
that.
to the future. Yeah, I said it looked
Okay.
like Life is
Oh yeah,
Strange
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you touched
with a
on it for a
little
second.
with a little twang. So we done. What do you rate the state of play out of 5?
I'd
You know,
say I'd give it a 4. I'd give it a 4.
what would make it a 5? You got to give it.
Maybe some God of War content
Mm.
would have made it a
Yeah,
5. That game
yeah.
is supposedly coming out this year,
No, it's
right?
not.
I would
It's
hope.
not.
I would hope.
We may get it on Summer Games Fest. The relationship what Jeff Keighley has been able to do with Summer Games Fest is dope because I think we got Elden Ring's announcement on the last Summer Games Fest, right? And it was like, what? This didn't come at a state of play. You understand? So we may get a big Sony announcement at Summer Games Fest. It's
Yeah,
this magical thing that
we
happens
could,
now.
but no, bro, I'm not like 4 out of 5 is still pretty good,
No,
right? I
it's good.
mean,
Definitely good.
the only thing is like for me, like yeah, Final Fantasy looks amazing, but I'm just not. I've missed all of the hype for all the other games
Hmm.
that yeah, I'm not too excited about that one as most other people would be for probably very good reason, right? I
Hmm.
mean, like I said, that game like just graphically looks amazing,
Hmm.
right? But yeah, the big standouts for me are Callisto Protocol. I'm super excited for that game. Same with Resident Evil 4 and then Street Fighter 6, right? I really want to see what Street Fighter 6 is going to be doing differently this time
Yeah.
around. Because yeah, it looks amazing graphically, but I want to see really bit more game systems in terms of what's changing between the last one and this one. Uh,
Uh,
and how certain characters play, or just how the system works itself when you're fighting someone.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because of the variety. I mean, I feel like that's too high, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5 based on the variety. I got a lot of things in there that I wanted. We didn't get too much fluff. Some of these state of plays we get a lot of fluff that is like
Yeah, Yeah, no,
I
they
don't
were
care
straight
about
to the
any of
point with
these,
this one. They were straight to the
right?
point
Yeah,
with this one. They were giving us just game after game after game. So that's great.
yeah,
That's really really great.
and this is a third party one, right? So I got a lot of stuff I wanted. It was anticipated. We got a lot of release dates. You know, shout out to Eddie Magasso on the stream.
So man,
Um, we got a lot of release dates. Like I feel excited because I feel like things are tangible. It's like boom, 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 boom. Since
yeah,
Elden Ring, I didn't know what to grasp as far as Sony side.
yeah,
You know, so now it's like, but okay, I gotta get my PS5. I'm back. I'm interested in what Sony's doing now.
hmm
Even though a lot of these are going to be on all platforms, Sony did well with the state of play and the variety. You got a big fighting game, big horror games, big RPGs. You got big adventure games all together
yeah. And then you got
on this
roller
state of
drum.
play. You got roller drum,
Then
right?
you got roller
Which
drum.
which I did like.
Maybe that's what made it a four for me
I did like. You know what I'm saying? The only
because
thing that would have made this better for me is something for specifically, I don't want to sound too descriptive, something for the, you know, for the more so for the cultural blacks, a GTA or a 2K, right?
cultural.
Or you know, or you know, something a little more shooty. You know what I'm saying? Very super stereotypical. But you know, those games that us black people are stereotypically super into, right? And I speak on behalf
You
of
on the
the
entire black
yeah,
community,
the black gaming community.
the black gaming community.
Black Black Shine gaming community.
Okay.
The Shine Gaming. I'm probably gonna make a new channel. Shine Gaming. But yeah, super duper excited for the Sony Studios State of Play. Hopefully that comes, you know, by September, and I'll be excited again. We'll be back to talk about Summer Games Fest. All right, definitely into that, and don't forget if you haven't been back on Fortnite,
Oh my
all
God,
right.
dude, stop it.
Season 3 is on the way, about to end season, the last season. Um, Big event on Saturday. The building is gone,
As
right?
soon as they removed building, you were back on.
If you choose to, the building is out. We don't have to deal with that. Is amazing to experience. You could listen. You the things you could do on that you can't do on Warzone. I said that's all I say. We ain't getting into no debate, Dre. Just telling people
Bro, you really
the
trying me right now.
Fortnite.
You really trying
We
me right
back.
now.
Star Wars is big. You know it. Fortnite is big. Be on some big things. As far as me, you can follow me, Cam the Comfort, on all social media platforms. I'm gonna be streaming some. I'm gonna be streaming Dre Little Hope. I'm finishing Little Hope, and then on Monday, Tuesday, I'm gonna be finishing.
How
Hoping
close are
to
you to the end of
finish
that one?
House of Ashes. I'm like maybe 2 hours on Little Hope left.
Okay,
So after we finish them, I'm gonna hop back on Twitch, finish Little Hope, and then I'll be ready for the Quarry on Friday, right? On the 10th. I think that's Friday. Next week, Friday, I believe. For the Quarry. That's Supermassive's new game. Until Dawn, all of these dark pictures. That's their new game. They're taking these horror story games to another level. I'm gonna
yeah,
be streaming that day one. You know what I'm saying?
that's cool, man.
We gonna be there.
Yeah, well, everyone, follow us on social media, please. GameHeads, I believe GameHeads International on Facebook at the very least. On Discord, please. Discord, things going on there almost all the time. And yeah, follow Cam on Twitch. Follow some of our other members, Noah Fraudfish for Smash, MBH Smash, Esports Bahamas, and I'm missing one. I'm missing one. Which one is it? You got to help me out.
What for games?
Yeah, no, for our partners. Ah, Bahamas National Esports League, BNL. There we
You
go.
know.
All right, that was the one. That was the one. All right, Jeff is gonna hang me when he sees this. But yeah, man, everyone, please follow, share, subscribe. We think we're putting this up on the YouTube channel as well for anyone that's missed it here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been fun. Definitely going through this through the uh, definitely going through the PlayStation State of Play has been something that's definitely reignited my passion in PlayStation stuff. Especially since the PS5 coming tomorrow. I'll be all deep in that.
Hold your head, hold your
Yeah, yeah,
controller.
yeah, poser.
I'm a poser, but
keep lying
uh,
to the masses.
I'll get the
You don't
rest
really
later,
got that
man.
PS5.
That's it. Okay. Hold your head, hold your controller. It's been the Game Heads podcast. Be still.